It was a stormy night in Kodaikanal, the hills cloaked in mist and mystery. In a small wooden cottage near the lake, 19-year-old Arav, a college dropout, sat nervously flipping through an old diary. The lights flickered. A strange knock echoed at the door. He stood still. He didn't open the door. He didn't move. He didn't even breathe. What happened next changed everything. But hold on. What did Arav not do that night? Why didn't he act? What didn't happen? And why does that matter? In today's episode on English Passage, we're going to explore the powerful tool of didn't plus base verb, one of the most useful structures in English for telling what didn't happen. So, let's unravel the suspense, and along the way, you'll master how to make negative sentences in the past tense using didn't plus base verb. Namaste and welcome back to your favorite YouTube channel, English Passage, where you don't just study English, you experience it through stories. Today is day 17 of your journey towards English fluency. If you've stayed with us until now, give yourself a big round of applause. You're not just a learner, you're a storyteller in training. In this video, we'll use storytelling to teach you how to talk about things that didn't happen in the past. Understanding negative sentences in the past. In English grammar, when we want to express that something did not happen in the past, we use the structure subject plus didn't plus base verb. This construction is known as a negative past simple sentence. Let's understand the components one by one. Subject, the person or thing doing the action. Didn't, this is the contracted form of did not, and it's a past tense auxiliary that expresses negation. Base verb, the infinitive form of the verb without to, for example, go, eat, write, etc. Now, why do we use the base form of the verb after didn't even though we are talking about the past? Because did already carries the past tense. English grammar doesn't allow double tense markings on the same action. The past tense is expressed by did, and therefore, the action verb must stay neutral, that is, in its base form. The logic behind the rule. This idea of separating grammatical functions helps English stay consistent. The tense is expressed by the auxiliary verb did. The negation is expressed by not, combined as didn't. The action is expressed neutrally, base verb. Compare this to positive past tense sentences. She went to school. Past is marked on the verb. But when negative, she didn't go to school. Past is marked by did, and go stays in base form. This structure not only maintains grammatical clarity, but also makes learning easier once the pattern is recognized. Cross-linguistic influence, the Indian language angle. In many Indian languages like Hindi, Tamil, Bengali, or Malayalam, the verb often takes both tense and negation. Hindi, mein gaya nahi. Tamil, naan poikale. Here, the verb expresses both the past and the negative. But English separates these elements, which requires a mental shift for Indian learners. If you directly translate from your native language, you might mistakenly say, I didn't went. This is incorrect in English because went is already past tense. And since didn't also expresses past, you don't need to mark the verb again. So the correct sentence is, I didn't go. Grammatical consistency. One past marker rule. English grammar operates on a one tense marker rule, especially in the simple past. This is why you use played in affirmative, I played. Use didn't play in negative, I didn't play. By removing the past marking from the verb, the sentence becomes grammatically balanced. This applies across all verbs, including irregular verbs like eat didn't eat, see didn't see, go didn't go, write didn't write. Why this is important in real-life communication. Negative past tense allows us to express missed opportunities, I didn't apply for the job. Denials, I didn't break the glass. Clarifications, we didn't meet yesterday. Regrets, I didn't tell her the truth. These are deeply emotional and meaningful expressions. You use them in storytelling, conversations, interviews, apologies, and daily life. Knowing how to say what didn't happen is just as important as saying what did. Practice strategy. Internalizing the rule. Choose 3 events from yesterday. Identify something you didn't do. Frame it using subject plus didn't plus base verb. Examples, internally practiced. I didn't sleep early. She didn't answer my call. They didn't come to the party. Now think beyond examples. Ask yourself, why didn't I do that? What stopped me? What does that say about my experience? This reflective practice connects grammar to your emotions, making your English more expressive and real. Historical insight. Why English developed this structure? Historically, Old English used inflections to express tense directly on the verb, just like Indian languages. But modern English simplified over time, reducing verb endings and introducing helper verbs like do, did, have, etc. That's why, in modern English, we say, do not go, did not go, have not gone. This auxiliary system was developed to keep sentence structure cleaner and more consistent, especially as English borrowed from many languages. Understanding this evolution helps learners appreciate that the didn't plus base verb rule isn't random. It's a logical step in making English easier to use. Return to Arav's story. The truth beyond the pages. Arav handed the diary to Priya. She opened it and read slowly. The entries were written in old ink, faded but still powerful. I didn't go with them. I didn't betray the trust. But I didn't speak when I should have. She turned the page, carefully tracing the edge. Another entry revealed. They asked me to come. I didn't. I watched from the shadows. I didn't warn anyone. And because of that, I didn't sleep for many nights. Priya looked up, her voice hushed. Your grandfather, he was trying to tell us something more than just a story. He was carrying guilt. Arav nodded. He didn't run away. He didn't abandon the village. He stayed. And he didn't leave because he was guilty. He stayed because he believed the truth would one day be uncovered. As they examined the final pages, they discovered a hand-drawn map and symbols. There were unfinished sentences, crossed out lines, and cryptic warnings. Don't dig near the old fig tree. Don't trust the silence. Don't follow the fireflies. They knew what they had to do. The next morning, Arav and Priya set out into the forest. They didn't hesitate. They didn't fear. They didn't carry doubt. Along the way, they marked down the signs that matched the diary's warnings. When they reached the fig tree, they paused. They didn't speak. They didn't disturb the place. Instead, they sat beside it and opened the last page again. What mattered most wasn't the treasure or the mystery. It was the language, the words that carried generations of fear, hope, and silence. Every moment they read and reflected, they used the pattern of didn't plus base verb, not just as grammar, but as a way to tell truths, confess regrets, and share deep emotion. Through this story, we understand how a small grammatical structure can help express big emotions and complex history. In Indian mythology and folklore, there are heroes whose greatness is not just in what they did, but also in what they didn't do. Their strength came not only from action, but from deliberate inaction, wise choices made in silence, resistance, or patience. Lord Rama didn't abandon his values even when exiled. He didn't let suffering justify dishonor. Mahatma Gandhi didn't respond to violence with violence. He didn't seek revenge, he stood firmly with peace. Sita didn't protest with words, but she didn't waver in her faith. These are not just examples of ethical restraint, they are expressions of deep character, the inner moral compass that chooses silence over noise, stillness over impulse. In English, this act of expressing what we chose not to do, what we resisted doing, is beautifully captured through the structure, didn't plus base verb. This simple construction holds immense emotional depth. When you say, I didn't lie, I didn't forget, I didn't run away, I didn't abandon my friend, I didn't speak because I didn't want to hurt her, you're not just making a grammatical sentence. You're opening a window into your inner world, your values, your discipline, your emotional decisions. Through this, language becomes not only a tool for speaking, but a mirror that reflects your character and your soul. You've just completed day 17 with English passage. It's followed by the base form of the verb, not the past. It expresses negation in the past tense. This grammar structure gives you access to hundreds of expressions, corrections, explanations, and confessions. You've added a powerful tool to your English vocabulary. If this video helped you, please like, share, and subscribe. Tell us in the comments. What didn't you do yesterday? What didn't you understand before that you now do? You're no longer just a student. You're becoming a storyteller in English. Until next time, keep listening, keep learning, and keep living in English. This is English Passage, where stories teach you English. Jai Hind, Vande Matram.